Today, I'm gonna help you guys out with attaining your goals financially, right? And I think financial freedom should be your goal. But understand this, family. If you're going to set a goal, you have to set the goal the right way. So before we jump into this, you already know the deal, family. Hashtag live. Drop it in the comments. Hashtag live. If you're watching this live, hashtag replay. If you are watching the replay. Okay. So first, before we talk deeply about financial freedom, right? Understand this. First, you have to set the goal. But here's how people set goals. People set goals. There's three types of ways, right? You have your A goals, you have your B goals, you have your C goals, right? Actually, before I even go into the goals, drop a comment. Let me know yes or no. Do you have goals that you're trying to reach? Goals for this year, goals for this month, goals for this week, goals for today. Do you have goals that you're trying to reach? Go ahead and drop in the comments. Let me know if you have goals. Because if you do, I'm going to let you know your goals fall into one of three categories. Now, only one of these categories actually really matter, but still, if you have any of these goals, you're still far ahead than a person who has no goals. So if you have no goals at this current time, I would suggest, okay, well, get a goal. But understand this. A goals. This is what most of the world, when they do set goals, because most of the world doesn't set goals the right way, most of the world sets their goals on A goals. They set their goals this way. And A goals are goals that you know you can hit, right? And then there's a lot of people talk about SMART goals and stuff like that. When people say do those SMART goals, whatever, I don't even remember what the acronym stands for. I'm so opposed to it. It's annoying to me. You either get that from people who haven't accomplished a lot in life, like anything significant in life, either that or they have, and they're just giving you some BS advice. And you will never be able to achieve what they achieve with that advice. See, if you're gonna have growth, you have to understand that nobody knows how to do anything significant before they've done it. So if you're setting goals to only do what you know you can do, there's no growth in that. See, the biggest issue people have when it comes to setting goals, the point of setting a goal is not for its attainment or its accomplishment. The purpose of setting goals is growth. We don't set goals to do what we know we can do. We set goals to see what exactly we can do. What are our limits, right? And by the way, you have no limits. So, most people set goals and say, let's say right now you are financial goals. So I'm going to try to keep this goal financially. Let's say you are currently making $2,000 a month. You have a program you sell for $1,000, or let's call it $1,000 a month, and you want to get to $3,000 a month. And you know if you take 20 sales calls this month, you're going to get that extra $1,000. You're going to make $3,000. Okay, like you know you can do that. That's nothing. There's no growth in that, right? You could probably did that without having a goal. But let's say you're like, well, I've only been able to add one client a month, but I'm pretty sure if I work on my closing and things like that, and I get my pipeline better, and let's say I'm at $2,000 a month, and I want to get to $5,000. So now the most you ever did was add $1,000, but you're gonna add $3,000 for the first time. You don't know how you're going to do it, but you think you can do it, right? So you feel like there's a push. Okay, cool. So that's a B goal. B goals are goals that we think we can do. That's where most people's SMART goals come in, right? Because you start putting out this plan, you're measuring, and you're trying to figure out how am I going to go from the 2 to the 5. All right. understand there's still no growth in there. If you can map out where you're going to be at, there is no growth. It's still sideways movement. See, you set goals to discover what you're capable of. So the purpose of a goal is to grow. So when you're doing the work to grow, understand that God rewards our work. Grow. God rewards our work. It's not about us. God will step in and do his part. We don't have to understand how to do it, right? Like Jim Rohn says, God said, you plant the seed, I'll grow the tree. Aren't you glad he didn't say, I plant the seed and you grow the tree? I mean, how do you grow a tree, right? How do you grow a tree? We don't know how to do this. God does, though. So we're going to set the goal. Here's a C goal. These are the goals you should set. These are the things that you actually want to do. These are the true desires of your heart. See, you have these things in your heart that you're like, I would love to accomplish this. This is what I really want. Like, man, I see the penthouse. I see the mansion. I see the cars. I see the giving. I see starting this foundation. I see the planes. I see the yachts. I see the global impact. I see speaking in front of thousands of people. Like, there's things you really want to do. Right? I see myself retiring my parents. I see myself paying for my siblings' college. I see myself paying for my children's college in cash, full, without even hurting our finances. Right? See, one of my mentors, mentor, if I'm being more exact or more precise, he, this was years ago before his parents passed, but as they got up in age, they both needed 24-hour care. So it actually cost him $50,000 a month just to get his parents taken care of, just to have their needs taken care of. $50,000 a month on his parents' health. Here's the cool thing. He understood how to set C goals so that he could build something to get him the life that he wanted. So that when that situation came up, and they did that for years, didn't even hurt his income. $50,000 a month, taking care of his parents' health, no debt, doesn't even hurt their income. That's the power of setting a C goal. C goals you set to achieve what it is you really want in life. And I think everybody should want financial freedom. Everybody should want financial independence. So let's talk about that. And understand this, it's going to be measurable, but just because I set things up to where it's measurable, because I think everything's just math. But just because you use math behind it doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean it's going to be a B goal, right? This is going to still be a C goal. And I'm going to show you why. This is how you're going to take the formula, right? We're going to say the average retirement age is 65. Let's just call it 65. I know they're trying to increase. I think actually might be 67 now. They're trying to increase it higher. Whatever. But for this sake, for this exercise, let's say it is 65. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 65 minus your age. How far do you have to go until you reach retirement? Right? So currently I am 30 years old. So 65 minus 30 is 35.
What's going on, family? Hey, I hate to interrupt the video. I know you're getting so much value, but I'm just out here for my walk, and I'm getting message after message after message of people saying, Jeremy, how do I increase my close rate? How do I double my deals? So I actually put together a free training, absolutely free, of some of my top closing strategies that you can actually watch and implement immediately. Just click the link in the description, go watch it, double your deals. Back to the video.
So I have 35 years until I can retire. Okay, so now once we got that, the next thing I want you to look at is what are your monthly expenses? all of them. Add them up. Like some of you guys can do this while you're on this live. Some of you can't. A lot of you guys working off budgets that budget accordingly. Great. You probably know this. So these are our current expenses, but when we move into our new home, these are what our expenses are about to be in the next couple of months. So our monthly expense is about $16,500 a month. I see you on the other side of that screen. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Come on now. $16,500 a month. So now we're going to multiply that out by 12, right? And that's going to give us what our expenses are for the year. So annual expenses for me, 100, is that even? Yep, $198,000 a year. Right? $198,000 a year. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take, this is how you find your financial independence number. You take how many years you have before you retire and multiply that by your annual expenses. So 35 for me times 198,000. That's $6,930,000. But I know there's going to be inflation in there, so we're going to add another $2 million because of inflation. So for me, my financial independence number is $8,930,000. That's how much it would take for me to be financially independent right now. Just, I'm good. Don't have to work anymore. I can maintain life the way I've been maintaining for the rest of my working life, right? Awesome. So that's your financial independence number. Now understand this. Y'all ready? So for a lot of you guys right now, y'all just set this goal. All right, I found my financial independence number. That's the goal. Here's the thing. I learned you will only live in life at the level of the questions that you ask yourself. Right? You will only live in life at the level of the questions that you ask yourself. So you have to start asking yourself some better questions. So I'm gonna make a long story short. Peter Thiel, billionaire Peter Thiel, multi-billionaire Peter Thiel, they was asking him, like, how do you get to a point where, like, you just destroy your competition? Like, they can't even come close to you. How? Like, what's your secret? And he said, well, like most companies, we all sit down and we think, what's our 10-year goal? What's my 10-year goal? What's our 10-year goal? So they map it out, and he says, and then most companies go and they start working towards that 10-year goal. This is where I want to be in the next 10 years. So for some people, it might be, I'm starting this company and I want it to be a $5 million company in the next 10 years. Cool. And then you work towards that. He said that's what most people do. But what he does is he takes it a step further. And he says, all right, after we come up with our 10-year goal, I ask myself this question. Catch this, family. This is where the next level of thinking comes in. This is where the next level goal setting comes in. This is where the thought process that will get you to your next level comes in. He says, I look at that 10-year goal and then I ask myself, how can I do this in the next 5 to 6 months? How can I do this in the next 5 to 6 months? So while everybody else is taking 10 years to hit the goal, he's going to do it in half a year. And if he doesn't hit it, he's going to come really close to it, working towards it. And it's allowed him to grow businesses and succeed at such a rapid rate. because of the question he asked himself. So I look at that and I call that accelerated income generation. Accelerated income generation. So what I want you to do is you look at your financial independence number and I want you to ask yourself an empowering question. How can I do this in the next 5 years? So we're going to take that number and we're going to divide it by 5. 1,786,000 a year for the next 5 years, and I'll hit the number I need to be financially independent in the next 5 years. So we're not going to take 35 years to hit that number. We're going to do it in the next 5. Very empowering question. And then you just do the math. Now I tell you, just because you do the math doesn't mean it's going to seem easy. Doesn't mean it's going to be that easy. Because that's what we need a year. We'll divide it by 12. That's going to tell me what I need to do every single month. So based off of the math, I need to be doing $148,833 a month. Or I can take that number divided by 30. That's $4,961 every single day. If I do that, I'll hit my financial independence number. Understand this. If I have a coaching package where I charge $5,000, all I need is to get one client a day for the next 5 years. Only one client per day for the next 5 years. And I'll reach my 8.93 million and reach my financial independence number and be able to be completely retired and never have to make a single dollar ever again for the rest of my life by only getting one client a day. So then the question becomes, okay, well, can I get one client per day? Easy. I teach webinars. You do one webinar a month, you put 100 people into the webinar, you'll close 30 to 33, 35 people on your packages. So that's the same as having that one client per day. Now it becomes easy in concept. But now you actually have to say, okay, well, now how am I going to fill up my webinars, or how am I going to book the sales calls, or however your selling system is. But at least now you have a plan and you set a real goal that's going to stretch you and grow you. So now, instead of trying to get one client per month, you realize, oh, if I set my prices the right way and I get one client per day, I'm going to be financially independent, making all the money I'll ever need to be financially independent. Right? And this is $16,500. This is basically if you make $16,500 a month in expenses. So if your expenses aren't that high, your number is even lower. So, family, hope you guys got some value from this. If you did, just type the word value in the comments. Now, I appreciate it if you guys just let me know if you guys are actually getting value from these trainings. Just type the word value in the comments, and I will catch you guys next time.